Thank you, everyone, for being here. This is our first time in several years to have an opportunity to meet the people who win these awards and hear more about their projects. Thank you also to Councilperson Torosis for her support and for being here to present the awards. And she'll be handing each team their award. So historic preservation, as you've been hearing a lot of tonight, is such an important part of keeping links to our built-in cultural history. And each year we search out examples that represent the great outcomes of our community, for our community through historic preservation. And this year we have a variety of historic preservation awards, from rehabilitation and renovation to adaptive reuse. We also have awards for community surveys and outreach, and also another award for the modern media use for education about our past and a basis for understanding historic preservation. We're also honoring 2 special volunteers for their work creating programs that evaluate and encourage participation in all our historic resources. Volunteers, including our docents and tour guides, are a backbone to our organization. I've been able to work with our great awards committee. You've met them, Ruth Ann and Carol, both on the board, along with Margarita Jerebeck, who has a doctorate in historic preservation and is a professional architectural historian. So we've all evaluated these applications, and along with staff's help, came to these awards today, and these people will help introduce the awards. So I'm going to present the first award, which is historic rehabilitation and renovation of one of our major landmarks. And the Georgian Hotel at 1415 Ocean Avenue has been one of the most iconic buildings in Santa Monica since it opened in 1933. That history goes back to the early 1930s when Rosamond Bordeaux, a pioneering female developer in a field mostly dominated by men at the time, hired architect Eugene Durfee to design the Georgian. By the way, Eugene Durfee is also the architect for the Central Tower and the Builders Exchange building on 4th Street. So the Georgian was the premier oceanfront hotel, and during the era of Prohibition, there was gambling boats offshore, and the stories are that the patrons, after a night of partying, could return back to the Georgian and enjoy the speakeasy and continue their night. And that was in the basement of the Georgian. And almost a century later, the property's newest owners have completed a thorough rehabilitation that honors its glamorous history and Art Deco styling, while simultaneously creating an environment that will inspire new stories. Starting in 2020, the team meticulously researched the story of the hotel to inform the historically inspired rehabilitation, and broke ground in 2022 with the renovation of its 84 guest rooms, ground floor lobby, restaurants, meeting, and event spaces, along with the Georgian room, formerly the speakeasy known as the Red Griffin, with the side door that's been reactivated. The Georgian's pattern and color inspiration marks significant historic design movements that were drawn from the diverse history of the Art Deco movement as it traveled from the east to the west. The ownership and project team took care throughout the project to substantially modernize all the building systems, utilizing high-efficiency lighting, plumbing solutions to meet today's hospitality sustainability standards, and other utility improvements. So for the team of the Georgian Hotel, we'd like to present them the Rehabilitation and Renovation Award. Sarah Chu. They're not here. They have a big marketing team, though. Anyway, as you know, it's a beautiful hotel. For our next awards, I would like to introduce Margarita Jerebeck.
This next Rehabilitation and Adaptive Reuse Award goes to the Sears Santa Monica project. When constructed in 1947, the Sears retail store became the largest and most prominent department store in the city of Santa Monica, strongly contributing to the economic development of the central business district in the post-war years. The Sears Bay Area store was the 10th Sears store to open in Southern California, and one of a handful of department stores in Santa Monica's central business district, including Montgomery Ward, JCPenney's, Spunberg's, and Henshey's. The Sears building was designed by well-known Beverly Hills architect Rowland H. Crawford and exemplifies a particular stylistic phase in the architectural history of the city, the late moderne. Crawford is closely identified with the late moderne architectural style for several iconic buildings in the Los Angeles region, including the Times Mirror building in downtown Los Angeles. Sears closed its downtown Santa Monica store in 2017, and the designated landmark was purchased by real estate investment firm Seritage Growth Properties, who launched an ambitious program to adaptively reuse the building as retail and office space. The project team referenced original photographs and design and construction drawings to replicate original materials and details, removing years of ad hoc modifications and successfully bringing the building back to its original late modern styling. As you can imagine, during the past 2 years, the impact of the COVID pandemic and evolving economic conditions have affected the project schedule. Currently, the building is vacant, and its present interior appearance is shown in the upper right photograph. The project has a steel frame interior seismic improvement that was creatively utilized to form an interior courtyard. As you can see in these images, the team worked creatively to bring in more natural light through a large skylight on the roof and a central opening, and smaller skylights on the third floor while preserving the exterior historic facades intact. These final project renderings show how the exterior of this iconic department store has been carefully preserved, including the Sears sign and the late modern architectural detailing. Meanwhile, the interior has been reimagined as a versatile and enjoyable community space bathed in natural light. Congratulations to the project team for bringing this challenging project to fruition. Will our winners now please come up and receive their award? The next award, Culture Mapping 90404, is for cultural heritage. Facilitated by 18th Street Arts Center in collaboration with the Alliance for California Traditional Arts, Cultural Mapping 90404 is a community-produced interactive map highlighting the history and cultural assets of the Pico neighborhood of Santa Monica, both past and present, that serve as cultural anchors within this community. 18th Street Arts Center believes that cultural mapping is essential infrastructure for successful collaboration between arts and culture producers and community leaders seeking to foster well-being among neighbors at the local level here in Santa Monica and beyond. The interactive cultural mapping project trained community volunteers to document cultural assets, memories, and histories. They mapped cultural assets through research, oral interviews, videos, and photographs, including the people, places, events, organizations, and groups, and memories that paint a collective portrait of the Pico neighborhood to the broader Santa Monica community, region, country, and world. The cultural map is a dynamic, living collection of local cultural heritage that continues to be added to by community members and shared with children. The map content will also be shared with local and national contemporary artists working with 18th Street Arts Center as inspiration for new and inventive art-making initiatives. Late last year, 18th Street Arts Center was awarded a $3 million California Arts Council Creative Corporation grant to take their culture mapping initiative statewide. They will now be supporting artists throughout the state to develop impactful arts and culture projects that foster community well-being by collecting cultural assets for their expanding map, as well as manifesting their art projects. Congratulations to 18th Street Arts Center for your visionary work. Will our winners now come up and receive their award? Now I'd like to introduce Carol Lemline, who will be presenting our next award.
Our second Cultural Heritage Award is for Broadway to Freeway, the exhibit at the Santa Monica History Museum, which features the tight-knit neighborhood along Broadway built by African American, Mexican American, and immigrant communities in the mid-20th century. The community was forcibly displaced, with many of its buildings demolished in the 1960s to build the 10 freeway. The History Museum collaborated with the Quinn Research Center, the Santa Monica Public Library, and our own Nina Fresco to create this outstanding exhibit, much of which remains on display in the new permanent Quinn Research Center exhibit at the museum. Carolyn and Bill Edwards founded the Quinn Research Center after Carolyn's uncle, the first African-American teacher in the Santa Monica School District, Dr. Alfred Quinn, passed away, inspiring them to organize his extensive collection of photographs, letters, newspaper clippings, and other memorabilia as an educational archive based initially on his collections, but soon expanding to include those of many other families. An important aspect of the Broadway neighborhood are its remaining historic structures, including that of the Philomathian Charity and Art Club, founded in 1921, and who built the building at 18th and Broadway in 1958. They used income from the building to support their charitable donations of food, layettes, and other necessities, as well as scholarships. Also included in the exhibit are photos of the mortgage burning celebration of the Santa Monica Crescent Bay Lodge, number 19, in 1928, and students at Garfield Elementary School participating in a toy refurbishment project in 1935. One of the benefits of the exhibit is not only that it teaches us about the long-gone community, but also offers family members the opportunity to celebrate their own past, illustrated here by the family of Goodrich McNeil, shown gathered around a 1950 ad for his service station. Would all of those who brought us this outstanding exhibit please come up on the stage?
Lisa needs to come up. Okay.
We are also pleased today to celebrate Mark Gorman and his blog, The Street Scene, as the recipient of our 2023 Media Award. He is demonstrating that the remaining traces of the history of the Ocean Park are everywhere, building for all of us a comprehensive context for understanding and appreciating the neighborhood. His topics have included the electric trolley and the ostrich farm, both long gone, as well as familiar structures like Horatio West Court, St. Clement Church, and the Merle Norman Building on Main Street. Please come up to the stage, Mark. Next are our volunteer awards presented by Ruth Ann Lehrer.
I get the fun part. So, Catherine Conkle, would you please come forward? Yeah. Catherine Conkle is the youngest member of the Conservancy's board, who took the initiative to set up a new group of young adults potentially interested in historic preservation called Preservation Next. Recognizing the importance of establishing and educating the younger generation is critical to the continued work and success of the Conservancy, as some of us founders of the organization need to pass the baton on to the next generation. Preservation Next has held meetings at places of historic significance, an educational opportunity which is also an excuse for a party. Catherine is a Santa Monica native and member of a family with deep appreciation for Santa Monica's history and historic places. Sharing that love, she's ready to foster her peers to explore and get involved. Preservation Next is our future, ensuring that our past lives on. Thank you, Catherine, for all your great work. The second volunteer award is in absentia because the awardee is traveling, but she will appreciate, or you will appreciate, I think, knowing what she has done for us. Robin Venturelli joined the first docent training program for the Annenberg Community Beach House and started out as a charter docent in 2009. She's made many outstanding contributions to the docent program due to her enthusiasm and initiative. One of the first was to create a PowerPoint presentation of the beach house story that could be used by docents or staff when the guest house was closed. She joined the Docent Council when it started, where her leadership and creative ideas are evident. Each year for the annual Volunteer Appreciation Party, which is for all the volunteers, Robin creates a video screening of the year in review, featuring photos of the volunteers at their work. This pictorial retrospective is delightful and rewarding for the volunteers to view, contributing to everybody's good feelings as a group. She's been doing this for many years. Additionally, she compiled a collection of vintage music from the 1920s and 30s, which we use for our get-togethers. But her most enchanting contribution is her portrayal of Marion Davies at our annual Marion Davies birthday celebrations. Her sparkle, vivacity capture Marion's personality, and her costumes are gorgeous. We all feel as if Marion Davies were actually with us, which adds a lot of energy to these events. So, Robin, we thank you, even though you're not with us here. You do so much for us. Thank you.
Well, this exciting portion of the program is about to end, and thank you to all the participants. We're really excited about the variety of the awards that we have this year. And each year we do look for examples of the best that historic brings to our community, and we really hope to hear from you guys, anything you see or think of, and let us know for future potential awards. Thanks again to Councilperson Torosis and for helping us with the presentation, and congratulations to all the award winners. Thank you very much for being here.